Hi Taurus, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. My name is Tori. Tonight we're going to take a look at the week of December 15th through the week of the 21st. Before I started your reading, forgive me guys because I have to put some oils on my hands. They be so dry. But before I started your reading, I was meditating, just kind of preparing to tap in, and I heard very clearly that this is the death to the inner me / enemy, okay? And Spirit was showing it as like a clearing away, like a cleansing. So for a lot of you Taurus, you could have been going through massive upgrades internally. This feels very much like it's about you, not necessarily about anybody else. I'm not seeing anybody else right now, but it feels like you transforming, transmuting energy and pushing yourself towards your destiny. Okay, Spirit even had me burn some sage just to kind of cleanse the room and the energy, because that's what Spirit's been doing in you, is what I'm hearing, is clearing things out, clearing out the old and making room for the new. Wow, love this. Wow. Okay, bottom of the deck is psychic protection. Around me now, a shield. Okay, sorry about that. I got interrupted by my mother. And what Spirit was showing me was that for some of you, you could have some cleansing in regards to like familial patterns or habits. Some codependency and people pleasing were coming up when I was actually like trying to come back to your reading. So this psychic protection is just showing that Spirit has been like warding off and defending you against attacks. These are attacks that are seen and unseen. So it's like God is the God who goes before you. He stands on the side, he stands on both sides, and he's, behind you. So all bases are covered, and Spirit is just showing that you've been psychically and spiritually protected throughout this journey. Look at this. There is a new beginning that is occurring for you. This was a result of having to let go of old versions of you. They're showing someone, and forgive me, the way that Spirit shows me stuff is kind of like straightforward, but it's almost as if someone was dying a slow death that was very painful. And so this for you has been a very painful experience, almost like sitting in that chrysalis phase where you're feeling like the space is too tight for you. Okay, so at some points in your life, specifically more recently, you were pushed out of situations, is how this feels, and it's because it was too tight for you. Metaphorically, what Spirit is saying is that that space did not accommodate or could not accommodate you and where you are going. Okay, because where you're going is harvest. Okay, where you're going is abundance. There's reciprocity, there's peace, there's also prosperity, there's fruitfulness. Where you're going is what Spirit is showing very clearly. And what I'm being shown is that these are rewards for what you have planted, the seeds that you've planted, the work that you've done, I'm hearing the toiling that you've gone through. So basically they're showing like a farmer. I don't know what this is called, and I'll read you the card in just a second, but I have to tell you this. So when you're in a field and you have the claws that go through, I don't know what they're called. Is that called toiling? Put it in the comments, because y'all, I have no idea, but I just know what Spirit is showing me. So basically it's like he's showing me that you've been uprooting things, toiling with the claws in the soil, and the soil has been you. So it's been you, who you are, the person that you are. There's been an uprooting, a shifting, and these situations, things that you had to leave behind, things that you had to, they're showing me the eight of cups, but like a almost having to leave out of desperation. Like, I don't have any choice but to leave this thing behind. No matter how much I want to stay, I have to leave it behind, because if I don't leave it behind, it's going to devour me, right? It's that type of situation. So whatever it is that you had to leave behind, it's because you had to push forward into this harvest and this abundance. And those things were almost like, Spirit is showing those things that you left behind were basically seeds or insects that would come in and steal your crops, meaning those things, those people, those situations, places, jobs, whatever your losses were, or whatever you may have looked at back then, or even now, some of you may be thinking that you were taking losses. Spirit is showing that no, those weren't actually losses. That was God protecting you. Spirit was protecting you because those things would have come in and stole from you. They would have taken from your harvest. You wouldn't have been able to successfully and peacefully, I'm hearing, enjoy your harvest. So those things had to go away in order for you to be able to receive with ease. Okay, it's like something like that coming through very strongly. The harvest card, let me read it to you. It reads, as the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I am ready to receive my all. Wow, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. This has been a long time coming, Taurus, is what I'm hearing, okay? It's been a long time coming. And I am seeing you give and receive in this new season, okay? They're showing me for some reason, guys, the recycling symbol from back in the days, it goes like something like that, whatever. Anyways, oh no, give me just a second. Okay, guys, I hate to be so spiritual, but everything happens for a reason. And when I was picking up the cards, this whole deck, I knocked it off. The Spirit is so awesome. There was a message in this, okay? This deck fell on the ground, and I was like, this is all in shambles. And I heard exactly. It was all in shambles so that it could bring you to clarity. So Spirit is saying that your life may have felt like it fell apart, like it was in shambles, or maybe even feeling like it's in shambles right now, maybe as if everything is falling apart rather than coming together. But that was all a part of God's plan, and it was so that you would come into clarity. Okay, you have the cosmic flower here. This cosmic flower, it reads, the frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. I love this because this is just representing and showing that the turmoil that you endured was all for you to return back to source, return back to your destined location, to return and to bring yourself back to the place that you belong. For a lot of you, you've been living a lot of your life. I'm hearing up to like 40 years. For some of you, Spirit is showing that you have been living in a space that you made a home in, which was not your actual destination. Okay, meaning that you have been settling for less, settling for, I heard settling for misfortunes. Okay, I don't even know if I know what that fully means, but anyways, you've been settling. Your messages are so clear, guys. Settling for misfortune, settling for experiences that were not really destined for you, but you settled in a place that wasn't your home, and Spirit is calling you out of that. Okay, this is exactly why you've been in this space of feeling like things have been falling apart. Okay, turmoil, dismay, like a ruckus is how the energy is showing up. Look at this. You have the regeneration card. This is all about like death and rebirth. Okay, talk about some scorpionic energy, Taurus, which is your opposite. You've been sitting in opposition to where you're most comfortable. Now, I love me a Taurus. Okay, if y'all don't know, let me tell you, your girl loves her a Taurus. My dad's a Taurus. I have dated a Taurus, love the heck out of him. My brother's a Taurus, love the heck out of him. So like Taurus people in general are like, you guys have my heart. I've had several friends that are Taurians. Anyways, so this energy, the scorpionic energy of regeneration is not comfortable for you. Okay, because you don't like to have to shift things around. Actually, guys, I have like a Taurus rising, so what the heck am I talking about? I get this too. But it's not so comfortable to have to shift, because for Taurian energy, typically by nature, you can become very comfortable in your discomforts, okay? It's almost like you can create a home and a space of comfort anywhere, whether you are dysregulated, whether you don't want to be there, you'll find somewhere and make your home in a space, like in a crawl hole, you know, like that type of situation. It's like you can become comfortable in any situation, but Spirit is saying that time is up. Like it's enough. You don't need to find comfort in uncomfortable places. You don't need to find comfort in situations that are burning. You don't need to find comfort in situations that are desolate, because this is a desolate land here. And Spirit is trying to remove you, uproot you, and bring you into a place of growth and regeneration. I absolutely love that for you. And the reason why is because, look, this has been a never-ending story for you. This is a cycle that has been so repetitive. It's time for this to shift. And I don't think I mentioned this in your reading because I kind of just jumped right in. But what Spirit was showing at the beginning of the reading is the connection between your reading and what's going on astrologically. Okay, I'm not an astrologer, never will claim to be. Maybe one day, but not right now, no time soon. Lori Lothian and MJ at Soulful Revolution TV. Those are the two astrologers that I listen to most frequently. I think they're phenomenal. But there is a new moon in Sagittarius on the 19th of December, which will be this week, okay? The 19th or 20th of December, depending on where you live. And with that is an opportunity for us to step into the new. Because it's in Sagittarian energy, it's going to be about opening up to new expansive ideas and thoughts. Okay, when you think about something expanding, if there's a balloon that's in a cup, the cup is going to restrict the balloon from being able to expand beyond the capacity of the cup, right? So what Spirit is showing for you with this new moon is that this new moon is going to grant you the opportunity to be able to not place the balloon in a cup, but rather place the balloon in a playground, place the balloon in a bathtub, okay? For example, in a bathtub, that balloon has massive space so it can expand beyond its beliefs. Now, this is uncomfortable for you, right? As would it be for most of us. It's 7:11 on the clock right now, guys. So, hey, good luck. Yahtzee. And I just saw 11:11 on the timer. Wow. Anyways, so this new moon is going to allow you to expand, stretch, and to be spread out more than you want to be. But remember, just like this cosmic flower, it's opening you up to your harvest. And that is what you do want, Taurus. Trust me, you want to get out of this hamster wheel that you've been spinning in, round and round and round, this never-ending story of like Five of Pentacles energy, feeling left out, feeling lost, feeling like you have to go at life alone, feeling like life and the world is against you. You want to get out of this, and instead you want to step into your harvest season. For a lot of you, I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles coming your way, okay? So just keep that in mind, that this is painful. They're giving me the scripture that talks about discipline. It basically says, though discipline is painful in the process or in the moment, for those who are able to receive discipline, like basically I'm putting this in my own words, if you receive discipline with grace, then you will reap a harvest. And that's absolutely what this is about, okay? This is about you reaping the harvest of allowing yourself to endure the regeneration process and allowing yourself to be stretched beyond what your typical capacity would be. And that has something to do with some limiting beliefs. Okay, guys, so let's check out the cards that came out. The Blue Heron reads, make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. Wow, I love this. I love this. This is amazing because this shows that in this stretching, you're going to piss people off, okay? Which I'll tell you, I know all about pissing people off, y'all. I was raised as a Christian. My fiance is a Muslim. I have pissed some people off. I read tarot. I'll piss somebody off easily. So I know a little bit about this. And unfortunately, yet fortunately, what happens is when we are growing, when we're expanding, when Spirit is trying to take us to new heights, when we're asking for more, then unfortunately that is just going to piss some people off. But the only way to get to your happiness is to not care. I mean, if you're not doing anything intentional, and if you're doing what you feel is best for you, according to what you believe Spirit would want you to do in life, then so be it if other people are pissed off. You know, it's about the intentions and the pureness of our hearts. And are we doing everything through the lens of love? If you're loving yourself, you're not selfish, Taurus. I don't know why I feel the need to tell you that. But if you're taking care of yourself, if you're putting yourself first, that is not selfishness. It's selfish for people to not desire that you put yourself first. It's selfish for people to think that you come second to them. That's actually selfish. So keep doing what you're doing. Allow this process to burn away those things that need to die off, right? Let the tower fall. Jump out the tower. Don't be pushed out the tower. Just jump out of it and allow yourself to be free from the judgment of others. But that first starts with freeing yourself from the judgment that you're giving yourself. Because I know, if I know anything, I know you're judging yourself first, okay? The next card out is the Emu. This is a good time to go on a new adventure. It's time for y'all to do something different with your lives, Taurus. You're being called out here. I feel like Spirit is almost like, I don't want to use the word challenging you, but I feel like it's like a challenge. Because I feel like it's very challenging for you to do things that make you uncomfortable. And guys, I cannot make this up, because let me just tell you what this card is. This boar at the bottom of the deck, the pig, reads, face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. And that's the energy that I was picking up on before I even looked down and saw that that's what it said, is that you have to do something uncomfortable in order to reap the harvest that is destined for you. If you want to have reciprocal relationships, how come I couldn't get that out? If you want to have reciprocal relationships, wow, there's somebody that has something to communicate. You or someone else. I got to stop because Spirit is downloading. There's something that you want to communicate to someone that you are confident is going to hurt their feelings. But it's affecting you. For some of you, this is Nine of Swords energy. This is keeping you up at night. Could have to end something with someone, a relationship, a business deal, a partnership of some sort. There's something that needs to be spoken and you've been holding back, reserving your true desires, not wanting to express yourself. My throat chakra is wanting to close up as we speak. You've been desiring to move on and do something different, but you feel so attached to this thing that you know is dead. And Spirit is just saying to cut the cord. Cut the cord. Take that situation off of the ventilator. Because what's going to happen is it's going to end up taking you out. So whenever we sacrifice ourselves for someone else, eventually it's going to get to you more than it's going to get to that other person. And more than it would for you to just tell that other person the truth. You're in between seasons here, Taurus, from what I can see. Okay, you're in between seasons. You're in between this regeneration and your harvest. And it's almost like some of you just need to know that your harvest season is going to come if you keep going. But there are sacrifices that are like going to have to be made. The first card out, guys, is the Devil. And then the Death card is at the bottom of the deck. This is that regeneration, that regenerative energy that we keep picking up on. The Devil is the first card out, though. You know, this is the strongest card besides the center of the reading. This situation is stressing you out, is keeping you up. For some of you, this is a relationship. It's a partnership. It may have started off as something passionate, but it's weighing on you. There's something about this person or in this situation that you see as being maybe, okay, this is how it's being shown to me. You're deceiving yourself by messing with this person. That's coming through very strongly. You're looking at this as deceiving yourself. And it could be because maybe you have no intentions on building with them. Maybe you know that this situation is not going anywhere. Maybe you know that you need to end it, but you're concerned about whether or not this is going to maybe affect your finances. Maybe whether or not it's going to affect your business. There's also something about needing to take control because you have the Emperor here. It's almost like you're so comfortable staying attached to things that are unhealthy because you, again, have found comfort in the uncomfortable. You have the Nine of Cups out next. This is overindulgent energy showing up right now. With these three cards here, the Devil, the Emperor, and the Nine of Cups, this is overindulging. Needing to get control over overindulging in things due to pleasure. So for a lot of you, you're feeling imbalanced right now with this Two of Pentacles showing up under the deck. You're feeling imbalanced because you're not actually taking control and owning your life. You're allowing it to be controlled by your desires, sexual desires, social desires, something like that is coming through. And for a lot of you, you feel like you're chained to this. You feel trapped and stuck, like as if this is a part of who you are. I think for a lot of you, it's been a part of who you are for so long. I'm seeing some age attachments here. Like maybe these things have been a part of you since you were young. What Spirit is showing, like as an example, is someone who is has operated in an energy of being like a player their whole lives, okay? Like from teenage years up into adulthood, they've been a player. And they've attached themselves to someone based on the benefits of that person, but not necessarily them liking that person. And there's like an awakening and an awareness that this person is not my home. This person is not where I belong. And so now it's like, you know what? I think I want to do something different, but how do I disconnect from what I've always known? I've only known to chase after or to go towards things that have felt comfortable based on the old version of me. But as I go through this regeneration, I'm turning into someone new, and I don't recognize necessarily what this person likes and doesn't like, okay? You know, the Nine of Cups energy is showing up like that for me right now in this reading as an energy of someone who is chasing after happiness, maybe desiring more, but not sure exactly what that looks like. So I think you're probably in this middle phase where you're discovering what it is that you truly desire out of life and kind of picking things apart to get to that. But in the process, you know that you're going to hurt some people's feelings in order to get you to that place. The High Priestess wanted to come out in reverse. I don't read reversals, guys, but I'll tell you what the energy is showing up as. It's an energy with the Knight of Pentacles here. This is an energy of someone who's just been avoiding the inevitable, holding out on what you know you have to do. The High Priestess showing up here. Look at how she's showing up in the reading here and how Spirit is showing it to me. See, her neck is completely covered. She's refusing to hear the truth. There's I don't know how to explain this to you, but the way that Spirit shows like this to me is that there's a direct connection between the High Priestess voice, her throat chakra, and her heart. And if those two things are not aligned, then there's no way that the mind can allow itself to open up to hear from Spirit. And so for a lot of you, the disconnect is that you haven't been operating from your heart space due to these attachments, these unhealthy attachments, okay? You haven't known necessarily. So this is not necessarily like, oh my God, you're like the worst human being. Please don't take it there at all. This is something that I think all of us have had to experience and encounter at some point in our lives, if not multiple times. But this is almost like an aha moment, an awakening to the fact that, oh my God, like I am attaching to things that I really don't want anymore. Like now I'm growing up, I'm becoming a newer version of myself. So now I need to attach and align to things that are connected to my heart space. But how do I do that when I've been attached to so many lower vibrational things most of my life? And a part of this, just from, my own personal experience, not that you guys probably care, but I want to just share this with you since Spirit's bringing it to my attention. A part of that is exploration, and it's exploration of who you are. And I think that that's really the message that's coming through the strongest for you, Taurus, is to take a moment to stop, maybe go on an adventure, as this emu energy is encouraging you to do. Go on an adventure of self-discovery. And that's how this feels to me. Like, what is it that I like? What do I enjoy? Apart from everyone else, what makes me happy? And that starts with connecting with you and Spirit. I love how this High Priestess is showing up for you. Okay, that starts just with your connection with the divine. So whether it's God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, whoever you deem Spirit to be, or whatever you want to call him, I call him him, but whatever you want to call him, connect to that, connect to source, go back to your divinity, because that's where you're going to find your power and your strength. Because with the Queen of Wands showing up at the bottom of the deck here, there's something in regards to your confidence that is also affecting this. And then we have the Ace of Swords trying to show up in the reverse as well. Guys, I can't make this up because I was telling you guys that you're going towards your 10 of Pentacles. That 10 of Pentacles is showing up here as well. But there's some type of clarity and truth in regards to the way that you see yourself. Something in regards to being practical with yourself, allowing yourself to not have it all together, allowing yourself to be a human. Seeing the humanity within you is coming through very strongly as well. And embracing the wisdom that you have, because what Spirit is showing me with you showing up as the Emperor right here in the center is that you have wisdom. You have knowledge. You have, I'm hearing the balls in your court. So you have the power to shift this around. It's all going to depend upon how you see yourself. And look, the Nine of Swords showing up in the reverse. See, this is what I think the problem is. Look. You see all this extra outside energy? I feel like this is the problem for you. I feel like there's a lot of outside influences, and I feel like Spirit is bringing you back to you, right? The home, the place that you call home. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Yes, the cosmic flower, the nectar. So there's something about you going back to the core of who you are. Find the nectar, the sweetness that resides within you naturally as a Taurus. The sweetness that everyone else in the world is drawn to. What is that for you? And have you been able to identify that? Or are you so focused on the negatives that everyone else throws at you? That also is that devil energy where, demons and these monitoring spirits want to just come in and kind of just devour you. And Spirit is saying, no, that is not you. Those are lies. You have the ball in your court with the Emperor here. It's up to you to choose to step out of this Eight of Swords energy and to step into the Page of Swords energy. The Eight of Swords is all about self-inflicted mental conflict. You'll notice in this card in particular, I love this, she's trapped, but she's placed herself in this bubble. And oftentimes when we're in this Eight of Swords energy, we feel entrapped and trapped in our minds. It's a mental prison that we walk in. We can go throughout our day functioning. We can go to work. We can go to school. We can go to the store. We can go wherever we need to go. Target, Walmart, whatever. We can do all these things, yet our minds are trapped. And Spirit is saying, instead of being trapped by those old thoughts that are telling you that happiness isn't yours, you're not deserving, that nothing good is going to happen to you, pull yourself out of that by becoming curious again. And this is like a rediscovery of who you are. It's destroying those negative thoughts that keep you bound, that keep you stuck, by simply just removing them one at a time. It's almost like Spirit is showing like you taking these swords out of you one at a time, removing them from your presence one at a time. And that starts by, again, being curious and telling yourself that you're not going to allow yourself to stay strapped in this. The next card and last card that you have is the World here. And I'm going to cover this up because she's showing her cha-chas. But there's something about allowing yourself to open to new worlds, to expand beyond your current belief systems, to expand beyond, to allow this new moon to open you up to ways and thoughts and ideas that you never could have ever considered in the past. Because it's almost like this is like a shift in timelines, like your time leaping, or what is it called? Quantum leaping, or what's it called when you can go back in time or forward in time? Anyways, put it in the comments, y'all, because when I be channeling, I can't get my words right. I just be messing up words. But anyways, there's something like that, like you're, going into a new time zone, into a new timeline. That's what it is, a new timeline. Thank you, Spirit. I'm like, help a sister out. You're going into a new timeline. You're closing out old cycles and no longer going to be stuck and stagnant. As things progress for you, things will no longer be stalled with this Knight of Pentacles energy. You're going to start moving into new opportunities, because what you're going to notice is that tree that has been on ground that was burning, right? So imagine like this tree here, the ground around it has been burning. You're going to notice that life's going to begin to come from it when you begin to pour into yourself. Something like that, Taurus. Okay, your sleepless nights will go away when you stand up and defend your right to be happy, because that's coming through too for you. Is that for some of you, you don't feel worthy enough to be happy. You don't feel deserving of happiness. But that's burning away. That's burning away, because this harvest is destined for you. Remember the beginning of the reading, Spirit showed, let me get the card, that you are protected. So this psychic protection means that your mind is protected. Your spirit man is protected. And that's also too, I bet, why Spirit is calling you back to your divinity with the High Priestess here. Because the only thing that's going to conquer the devil is if you tap into your spirit man and allow that spirit man to conquer and to defeat the enemy's tactics by recognizing that those are lies. This is saying call out the lies, okay? Call the enemy's bluff. That enemy within, the one that wants to devour, these voices that are going on around you, keeping you up at night, making you feel inadequate. Those are lies. That's a lie, okay? It's time for you to rise above this, because Spirit has a harvest on the other side of this. And this is a war. It really feels like there's a war. Like I'm hearing this song, there's a war out there for my soul. And that's exactly how this feels. But you're being advised and encouraged to choose your happiness over this mental distress that you could possibly keep yourself entrapped in from not believing in the best. Instead of thinking, what if everything goes wrong? Change your thought just for this week. Every day, focus on, what if everything is actually working out for me? If you do that for just 1 week, see what happens for you. So the rest of this week, after you watch this reading, or whenever you watch this reading, for the rest of the week until Sunday or the following Sunday, tell yourself, what if everything is working out in my favor? And watch what God does in your life. You are going to be amazed at how that alone can regenerate you and bring you back into this amazing harvest season, which is on its way for you, Taurus. I hope this is your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being patient with me. Thank you for watching. If it's your reading, feel free to drop a comment. I love to hear from you. Feel free to like and subscribe. And I thank y'all, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Have an amazing week, guys. Things are turning around in your favor. Go for it. Let's get that harvest. Bye.